I think this discussion we will get some knowledge, some skill, yeah, some information, and we can discuss how to conduct digital business with data science contribution. In this discussion, Mr. Dwayne will explain to us about how to bring data science to help us in digital business. And the second, I will explain about the data science life cycle stage and benefit and challenge in data science implementation. So I think this my opening speech for this webinar. Thank you very much, Ms. Elsa. Okay, please continue, Ms. Elsa.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bapak Abdul Rahman, for the introduction speech. Now we will start our session that we've been waiting for, which is sharing session from our two speakers. So first speakers for today will be Mr. Dwayne Ong, and the second one will be Mr. Abdul Rahman. So for the first speaker, I will introduce a little bit about Mr. Dwayne Ong. I will be really honest that his CV is really impressive. Mr. Dwayne Ong is the founder and CEO of Kesugol. He is an educator, organizational consultant, corporate trainer in AI, robotics, data analytics, digital transformation, leadership and management, business development, entrepreneurship, and even professional career development. Mr. Dwayne currently serves as an industrial advisory panel member of Taylor's University, Malaysia. He was also worked with so many reputable clients like OCBC Bank, Vodafone, Petronas, Intel Malaysia, ZTE China, and the others. So let's get back to our webinar topic. I will introduce a little bit our topic for today, data science of digital business. So as we know, the main purpose of doing business is to gain as many profit as possible. And to achieve that, we need many way of approaches, which can be internal and external. And this is where the role of data science will help businesses to optimize achieving these goals. So, for example, to minimize financial risk. But the most important thing is what is data science and how it could impact the digital business. So without waiting any further, let's welcome our first guest speaker, Mr. Dwayne.
Okay, hi. Thanks.
Hi.
Thanks for your introduction. It was humbling. Yeah.
Thanks,
Pak Abdul Rahman and Pak Dani for inviting me. Yeah. I believe most of us are international participants, but largely made up of participants from Bandung. Yeah. I've been to Bandung once. That was about 12 years when I was about 12 or 13 years old, because my family, half of my family is actually from Indonesia as well. Okay, so boleh bicara bahasa Indonesia sedikit. Okay, yeah. But that said, I think let's get back to our topic in proper, because our time is short here. We can always bring our chatting session off. First of all, allow me to take this opportunity to announce STMIK Bandung, to bring some of the latest digital transformation and emerging technology courses to Bandung and Indonesia as well. So through Summit Academy and STMIK Bandung, we hope that we can make these courses available to participants in Indonesia, help them gain some understanding and skills. Most importantly, the skill set that is required to success in the digital economy. Yeah, so thanks Pak Abdul Rahman for the invitation and opportunity to collaborate with you. Yeah, terima kasih banyak. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think Pak Abdul Rahman will be sharing more about partnership later. So let me get into the topic proper. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So shall we begin? Yeah. Okay, so we only have about 30 minutes of time to spend together. So let us not spend too much introduction. You have heard from Miss Aurora with regards to the introduction about me. Yeah, okay. So data science is playing an important role with regards to digital transformation and the emerging technologies. And as you all know, in the recent few months, due to the pandemic situation and all, yeah, companies are being forced to work online and they are actually wanting to learn how to actually digitalize some of their process. But most of the time, companies do make the mistake to that they do already have the data, tools, and resources, but not able to execute. Okay, so there are a few things that uh, is actually hindering their progress, and that is actually slowing their progress as well. So let us get things started. So before we can kickstart this topic, we must understand what is data science. Okay, so a lot of definition. Be not able to understand. So allow me to share with you in as layman term as possible. So if you do have any questions, feel free to ask after the session as we only have 25 minutes. So let's not disrupt the session as we go along. Okay, so basically data science is not new. It has been around for a long time. It's just that over the past few years, it has been amplified due to the need to digitize their businesses and operation for most businesses. And the reason why is that so is because we now have lots and lots of data, and data science has been pushed to the mainstream because organizations are trying to know and understand how to digitally transform by using data. The reason why data is important is because without data, organizations are facing a risk of transforming without knowing what is next. Okay, so with some data, you will be able to understand or minimize the risk that is in place, and you will be able to read and foretell the future. Yeah, at least based on the data that you actually put into the machine. Okay, so let us move on. So data science is a combination of tools, artificial intelligence, algorithms, and machine learning to understand and identify the hidden insights of the data. So what does it mean? It means that you're actually finding things that is trying to look for things and information that is not visibly seen or not very obvious in the organization by understanding data. Okay, but this time around, unlike the Excel sheet or the business intelligence software that we are using, this time around we are using artificial intelligence tools and technology and using with the combination of statistical models and all, Okay, I just realized I didn't share my slide. Okay, so with the combination, can everyone see my slide now? Yeah. Okay, so with a combination of statistical models and all, you will be able to see and understand how different patterns are being formed within your organization and how people can how to actually read and understand the statistics or the graph that is being shown and how to change certain processes. Okay, so because of the short time we have, we will not be able to delve into the technical this, but that's it. Let me give you an overview and hopefully that will give you some inspiration and understanding on how to adopt data science and what are the key areas that you want to focus on. Okay, so there are many areas in data science. One of the key, and in data science itself, that comprises mainly three different areas. The first thing of that is most important for most businesses is to identify the business knowledge. Okay, so in order to do that, previously we do just collect data and churn up the Excel sheet and try to understand. Right? But this time around, we will be putting data with algorithms and putting into a system that can be developed with ease. Yeah, that means easily, and with that, it will be able to tell us the trends and the demand or study the behavioral habits of your customers. Okay, that will require some mathematics skills and computer science skills. Okay, so but that said, uh, thanks to the advancement of technology, you need not be a mathematician or math expert to be in data science. Reason because for those of you who are actually not for those of you who are actually understanding technology, you will realize that programming has become extremely easy. Okay, so without any much knowledge in mathematics or statistics, all you need to do is identify the different functions and models that you can actually be using, pull it into your system, and you should be able to run the program and start performing simple data science and analytics for your organization. Okay, it is really that simple. The only reason why most companies are confused, and this is one of the common mistakes, is because they are not familiar with the technology and tools. Okay, so in our digital transformation class, we actually teach the difference between technology and tools. Okay, technology is data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, okay, and tools are like Python, SAP, Cisco, or Microsoft Office. These are called tools. The reason why companies are not successfully transforming and adopting data science strategies is because of they are focused too much on the tools and buying tools to achieve data science competency. Okay, so we will delve a little bit on this when we have time. Okay, so there are a few things that you need to understand in terms of data science. In order for business to kickstart data science, the first thing you will need to do is to have a strategy. Like all business approaches, you will need to have a strategy, right? Okay, and this is a common framework that most organizations are actually experiencing. And this is some of the key strategies that you will need to understand. Okay, the first thing organizations will need to do is to identify the company's objective and the mission. Okay, so once you have done that, you will be able to craft out a simple strategy or framework that is enabling you to incorporate data science competencies and plan for the resources that is required. Okay, and you will also need to understand what is your current state and situation now in your organization. So which means to say, what are the resources you do already have? Are your staff technically trained? Do you have the necessary tools that is readily available for you to kickstart any data science? And at what stage of data science or analytics are you in at the moment? These are the things that you will need to know. And last but not least, the area here at the bottom is the leadership and planning. So leaders still play an important role. Without a drive and urgency to push data science competency, you will realize that even with the nicest goal and objective and the tools ready, you will not be able to execute the data science strategies at all. Okay, so these are some of the key things involved. Okay, and you will need to actually try to understand the different steps and the level that your organization is in at the moment, and what kind of reporting or how would you like to have the data science strategies being implemented into your organization depends differently based on the different stages. So this is something that organizations will need to take note. Okay, so generally in the digital strategies and planning and all, the senior management will actually come together, okay, and start looking at the different ways and approach. Okay, so one of our clients, like Petronas Malaysia, okay, we have been consulting with them for quite some time. Okay, the reason and this is actually an ongoing process, and you will realize that once you kickstart some discussion, you will need to actually and it is not the first time and you get everything right. Okay, so over the past 4 years, we have been working with them, and you can realize that they're actually consistently looking at ways to fine tune and streamline the business approaches. So once to kickstart data science, the first thing you do is to understand where you are first and consistently review and improve. This is something that is important. Okay, so in our digital classes, we will teach you how to do so. Okay, but in view of time, I'm just briefly bringing you through. Okay, so understand the different layers of data strategies that is being in place. Okay, where are you now at the analytical model? Yeah, probably most businesses are in the descriptive and the diagnostic layer. Reason because most of us are still working on the structured data that is in our organization. Okay, we have not moved into the predictive and analytics, predictive and the prescriptive level. The reason because we do not have sufficient data. Okay, even though there are lots and lots of data in our organization, but the data that we are actually sharing across the whole organization is actually minimal. Departments are working in separately from each other. Okay, one good example is take a step back and look at your HR team and the operations team. Most likely they will not be sharing data with each other. So in order for you to understand the full picture of how data science works and how you can incorporate these strategies together, the first thing most organizations should do is to develop a data warehouse or something like a data lake to have all something like a central data repository to keep all data in the central so that um, different departments can access the data he or she wants with ease without much difficulty. So this is one of the first steps you need to do to kickstart the data science journey. Okay, and understand at which level, at the different level of management, what kind of data and what kind of reporting on what kind of strategy is required. Okay, for example, if you are at Pak Abdul Rahman's level, he will not need to know how to do the programming and read the reports. Okay, but if you are like a new staff and all who is actually kickstarting a career in data science, probably you will need to understand some how to work with structured and unstructured data and how to actually put all this together. So uh, depend on the level of in your organization, you have to plan this accordingly. Okay. And last but not least, if you look at the layer 2 here, this is the managing the people and processes. Okay, this is where all the rules and policies have to be in place, yeah, to ensure that everybody is working with the right framework. Okay, so senior management plays an important role. Okay, if not, you will realize that you will be something like CapitaLand, one of our clients. Yeah, they are actually having many different ways of working, and you will end up they will not be able to understand the different data sets and all because different departments are working very differently from each other. Okay, so let us move on. So four simple points to take note. Okay, this is an extract from our data science course. Okay, basically it's the identify a strategy, assess the different maturity level in your organization. Once that is done, identify and propose some digital tools and technology. Okay, and last but not least, plot out the roadmap that you can communicate with your staff, colleagues, and your associates so that they will understand what is next. Okay, senior managers often find that they are having a problem communicating. Yeah, the reason is because they themselves are not clear of what is next. Okay, so plot out a simple and clear strategy. Keep it as simple as possible so that you can actually share what you truly want to achieve with your colleagues. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is of course start to find data and clean the data. Okay. So this is a common scenario in all organizations. Okay, it's from the source here. Okay, so basically, if you look at your organizations, your data is actually all over the place. Okay, so before you can kickstart some analysis and data science project or artificial intelligence, you will need to start cleaning your data first. Okay, this cleaning of data may sound difficult, but frankly speaking, if you understand Python programming or simple programming languages, all you need to do is just identify the few lines of code and put it in the system, and your data will be cleaned instantaneously. It means immediately your data will be cleaned. Okay, so the thing that is slowing companies is not because of the lack of data, but it's lack of understanding of how to put these simple technologies together. Okay, so you will need to start understanding the different tools and technology and how to put them together for execution. Okay, and last but not least, if you look at this is a simple chart, okay, of the different roles. If you have been reading the newspaper and all, you'll probably be confused. What is a data scientist? What is a data engineer? And what is a data analyst? Okay, frankly speaking, they are all about the same. Okay, and the skill sets largely requires programming and some basic understanding of mathematical skills and all. Okay, and communication skills. Okay, so the key tools that is generally being used, you can see here is largely SQL. And like I said earlier, thanks to the advancement of technology, you need not be good in maths, but doesn't mean that you don't practice maths. Yeah, you will need not be good in maths. All you need to do is understand how to use the different maths model and what is the output that is being generated. Okay, so you would, or that is just something that you need to know. Okay, so as a working professional and a business, it takes a long time for someone to actually, it is actually expensive for you to train your staff in mathematics. Okay, so thanks to technology, we should leverage on the technology to help us advance on our competency. Okay, so let us move on. Okay, mathematical models are important, but that's it. It's not about the equations or the plus and minus and divides and all. The reason why it is important is because at the end of the day, we are actually dealing with numbers, zeros and ones and all. And in order to predict, there are certain statistics that is required. Okay, like the linear regressions and the classification models. Okay, for most of you, it may not make sense to you because it is all these are technical terms. But when you understand the technology and how it works, for example, in Python, all you need to do is just pull out a simple line of function and key in a few standard lines of key codes and programs, and you should be able to start predicting and analyzing your data with that simplicity. Okay, so this is some of the simple steps that can kickstart organizations when they are moving into digital transformation and implementing data science as part of their data strategy or digital strategy. Okay, so understand what model are the more popular ones like the Shapiro W or the Pearson R. Okay, these are the common methods for you to understand the performance metrics of artificial intelligence and what is the output and how does it relate. That is more important, not the maths, plus and minus and all. It's good for you to know, but at the end of the day, the output and the outcome and how you take action, that is more important in the terms of industry practitioners. Okay. Okay, a few questions. I think we have briefly touched on that. Okay, start understanding the problems, identify the few priorities, and start collecting data. Okay, and once you have done so, you will need to analyze and interpret the result. Okay, that is where data visualization is important. Okay, after collecting all this data, if you are not able to present and sell what is the output, you will realize that no one is actually interested in understanding the technical terms and all. So you will need to put into visualization graphs and charts and all, something like that. Okay, so that people can understand what is the relation. For example, will the change of address affect the price of a home, or will adding features in the house affecting the price of the home? Okay, there are a few different charts that you can actually plot out. And unlike Microsoft Excel, it will probably take you a long time. But with advancement of technology, existing tools can actually help you to do so. Okay, the reason why companies and businesses are always spending and spending is because they have not taken a step back and understand what are the free tools that are available first, which is why you can see companies are actually digitally transforming, yes, by buying tools and technology. By the time they realize that only 20% of the tool is working for them, they will start giving up their interest in digital transformation and go back to the same old ways. Okay, so in view of time, I will just quickly back through. And last but not least, make things operational and make it work. Okay, so this is a typical map, okay, architecture of how you can transform data into intelligence and take action. Okay, so the important piece of the puzzle that is missing in most organizations is this center part, which is called the data warehouse. Okay, this is where the data lake is, and this is where you will be processing your data for analysis or artificial intelligence training. Okay, so there are some tools that is readily available in the market, and there are also free tools that you can develop to help yourself transform without spending too much cost. Okay, but you need to have the skill sets and all. Okay, so these are some of the things. Okay, and last but not least, once you analyze that, you will be able to take action. And in order for you to take action, you need to have a clear reports and all. Okay, this is typical. And different ways of application in data science, different application in data science. Okay, feel free to read. You can read a lot of all this in Google and all the different case studies and all. Okay, so we will not spend too much time on this. Okay, a few key areas in data science like big data, data science, and data discovery. Okay, generally they means the same. The only thing that is different is the different type of skill sets that is required and how it is being applied and used in the organization. Okay, so these are some of the different areas that one must take note. Okay, and most important thing is that you must understand at which part of the graph is your organization currently at. So you will be able to start planning a successful digital transformation or data strategy. Okay, another chart to show you the difference. Descriptive and diagnostic is what we have been doing. And data science and data scientist is mainly interested in the predictive and the prescriptive, which means to use machines to tell you the answer. Okay. And some of the different areas that we will need to actually look into. Okay, data scientists are mainly interested in the algorithms, maths, and how to clean the different type of data to start predicting and analyzing. Okay, so different areas generally ends up the same because at the end of the day, after all this cleaning and testing and all, you will realize that all this data that you use will help you to achieve artificial intelligence competency. And once you achieve artificial intelligence competency, you will realize that most of the jobs here will be gone because the machines themselves will be able to start predicting and understanding how things work. And your role is to help to improve and streamline and fine tune. Okay, so data repository, this is a data warehouse, typical model in the organization. Correct? You have a lot of data here, and there's a central data warehouse is something that organizations will start building. And the important thing is the ETL tools, extract, transform, and load tools. Okay, so you will need to actually start developing all these tools to start processing the different types of data. Okay, before you can clean it up and put it in the warehouse to make reports and all. Looks a bit tedious, but once you understand how to put everything together, you will realize that everything is actually very straightforward and there is nothing complicated. And thanks to the advancement of tools and all, you can actually use vendor-centric softwares like AWS or Amazon to actually start doing the simple transformation. Okay. And last but not least, you will need to develop data proficiency. That means you need to have the skills and understanding on the different graphs, understanding some basic statistical model. Okay, statistical model, like I said earlier, I must emphasize, do not let your lack of knowledge in maths slow you down. Okay, and just understand how the technology works and how the different functions and features works and what is the model that is actively being used and deployed. Okay, some of the graphs that is shown here. Okay, different types of data, qualitative and quantitative. In view of time, we are not able to delve in depth. Yeah, okay, lots of technical stuff and all. But all in all, I think these are some of the gist of data science is to, from a chunk of raw data here, you are actually able to pull out some simple samples to help you to predict future directions and all. Okay, so this is the gist of data science. Okay, and by using this time around, unlike the Excel, you will need to manually, but this time around you are using artificial intelligence and algorithms. Okay, and the different types of statistics and machine learning comparison. Okay, in view of time, apologies that we are actually rushing. Yeah, so and touch a little bit on machine learning. Okay, so we have seen the earlier model of data warehousing and all. Okay, so in terms of machine learning, in terms of data warehousing and analytics, that is what we have been doing. But this time around, some part of the data is actually put into some algorithms to start training. Okay, so when the data is being trained by some machine learning algorithms, it will be able to start predicting. Okay, the new role of a data scientist, and in which all organizations should start acquiring this set of skills, is to understand how to put this data and all for training and cleaning and able to start predicting future solutions. Okay, this is where the companies should start moving towards. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you look at this pandemic situation, when everyone is working from home, yeah, and the minimum needs of any staff in place in office, you will need to have leverage on the skills and the technology to help you to make your business decisions. And by using machine learning techniques and all, you will be able to predict future and potential outcome. And this will help to shorten the process curve that is in place. Okay. And some machine learning techniques here, a model here. There are four main types here. Okay. Commonly, most businesses are still in the supervised learning stage. Okay. And unsupervised and semi-supervised to reinforcement is relatively advanced. Yeah, mainly during images and all. Okay, so supervised learning will be more than sufficient for most companies to kickstart, but that shouldn't be the end game. As you go along, you should actually try to explore to see how you can advance beyond supervised and structured data. And that is where you are actually looking for images, comments on Facebook or social media. You have to start analyzing the trend and what is next and what your customer wants. Okay, that is where unsupervised learning and field reinforcement learning come into place. Okay, so that is all we have for today. And we look at the graph here, the chart here. So do we still need everyone here to work in the same department? The answer is no. Okay, the answer is no. All you need to do is one uh, data scientist or data architect to actually be in office, and with some simple skill set and understanding of how different models work, they will be able to help you to come up with a data strategy that will help you to advance your organization. So the key two things that is in place is understand the organization strategy and what are the skills that is required and how these skills can help your organization. So these are some of the things that you need to take note to kickstart your data science effort in your office. Okay, so that is all that I have for you. Okay, some information about Kasugo. Yeah, like I said earlier, we will be working very closely with STMIK, Bandung, and Summit Academy to launch our programs in Indonesia and Bandung as well. So feel free to reach out to them for more information. So uh, we are currently in 38 different countries, and Indonesia happens to be uh, one of the countries that we are actually covering. Okay, and these are some of the customers that we have previously. And our courses, just take note, is largely 70 to 80% hands-on practical. So from day one onwards, you will be programming and typing and working on algorithms and all, and supplemented by 30% of the theory. And last but not least, the important part of Kasugo training is the interaction, support, and engagement element. Yeah, okay. With that, I will hand over the session back to uh, Aurora. Yeah, over to you. Thanks for the time. Yeah. Any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, thanks. Okay, thanks. Mm, I think your mic is off.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for sharing about data science. Hello?
Hey, hi. Yeah, Aurora. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Mm,
so much for sharing about data science of digital business to us.
okay.
It's really interesting how developing data tool could really helping what human does for their business even during pandemics like nowadays. So we can conclude that data science is a discipline that combines digitalization of data to minimize the risk that could occur in a company. So the first thing we need to have a strategy vision and then go to planning stage. And it is also important to develop data center first before we start to mining the data and cleaning the data before we store it and process it. Also, developing data science could help company to do prioritization, distribution, composition, and relationship of the company. Also, we will have Q&A session at the end of second speaker. Sorry, could you all hear me?
Yes,
Is it clear?
can hear you. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, we will have Q&A session at the end of second speaker. Jadi jika ada pertanyaan boleh ditampung dulu sementara di kolom chat atau tunggu akhir sesi 2 untuk bertanya langsung. Okay. So without waiting any longer, let's welcome our second guest speaker, which is we already know it's really famous among us ya, Bapak Dr. Abdurrahman, Chairman of STIMIK Bandung dan PT Solmit Indonesia. Dipersilahkan.
Baik, terima kasih Mbak Elsa. Thank you very much, Mr. Dwayne. So, Mr. Dwayne just explained to us about the concept of data science and life cycle stage, yeah, and the benefit from data science in digital business. Can you hear Miss Elsa, my voice?
Yes, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay. So in this webinar, I will continue about the data science from Mr. Dwayne. I will focus on challenge of data science. Yeah. Okay. What is the challenge in the data science implementation? Yeah. There are some challenge in data science implementation. Yeah. There consists of scarcity of qualified talent. Yeah. This is the big problem in the knowledge area in the emerging technology in digital business. Yeah. As we know that in digital economy needs some qualified talent that could implement, could build, design, implement, and operate emerging technology in digital business. So in data science, yeah, the quality talent is more important than the others. So Stimik Bandung and Kasugol from today we conduct the agreement how to educate, how to build, and how to develop the competency, the talent in data science, in artificial intelligence, IoT, and the others emerging technology skill. Ya. Jadi kita Stindik Bandung telah bermitra dengan Kasugol mulai hari ini ya untuk mengembangkan kompetensi skill di bidang data science, artificial intelligence ya, digital business dan lain sebagainya. Karena memang salah satu tantangan ya, one of the most challenge in data science implementation in digital business is about the qualified talent ya. Stindik Bandung and Solmit Academy gives more cares, more attention in the building of qualified talent. So Stindik Bandung will cooperate with the other boarding, with other institution in abroad, yeah, in like example Kasugol, yeah, digitalization, SetNexus, and the others, how to conduct, how to develop the qualified talent in digital science, in data science, in artificial intelligence, and the other emerging technology. So what uh, the role of education? What is the role of higher education university to conduct, to build about the qualified talent in data science? So this is our challenge in our curriculum program, yeah, about the program course or bachelor degree, yeah, in Indonesia, in STIMIK Bandung too, yeah. So the challenge of data science implementation is result-based issues. Yeah. So how to conduct data science in business, yeah, how to give some benefit result based on issues, based on business issues, so digital science can help how to problem solving in the business. Yeah. The third is about the data quality. As we know that in data mining, web mining, yeah, data warehouse, big data, the problem is about data quality. So the data preparation, yeah, data preparation has important role, yeah, to conduct clear data, clean data, so the analytical visualization. So the result is based on our expectation, based on the business expectation. So what are the factors about data quality? As we know that about accuracy, completeness, relevance be with our problem, our business, yeah, validity, timelines, and consistency. This is some challenge in information system, in digital business, in business application implementation. So this is the challenge from data science, yeah, implementation, and the others. About the accuracy, as we know that accuracy in data preparation, this is a big homework for us, maybe in banking, financial, mining, telecommunication, and the others. Yeah, that as we know that data preparation has important role to next step. Yeah, to build data science in next step. Yeah, in uh, analytical until data visualization. So the other challenge is about cost issues. Yeah, as we know that cost issues there are in some organization becomes high issues in data science implementation. But as Mr. Dwayne explained to us, there are some open source, there are open system that we can use how to minimize about the cost. So we will get the benefit of data science in our business, yeah, with economical cost, yeah. Uh, how to minimize the cost in data science, yeah, we can hiring the specialist personnel, yeah, with economy rate, yeah. But if we cannot do that, yeah, we can build our team with the data science competency, yeah, knowledge and skill. So this is now in internet there are some uh, free, yeah, free course or commercial course, but with economic course, yeah, that programmer, business analyst, yeah, so young programmer or student can learn with deep knowledge, with deep skill in some course in internet, yeah. So about hardware acquisition, yeah, as we know that hardware acquisition has a problem in small company or in startup, but with cloud computing, yeah, with infrastructure as a services, the company can use the cloud benefit to minimize the cost with the hardware problem. Yeah. So the other cost, yeah. But the important is how to conduct return on investment or the benefit. So we can conduct cost and benefit analysis about the data science usage with business benefit that we can get the next time. Mr. Gwen just now explained to us about the value analysis. So the important in emerging technology, the first step is value assessment, value benefit assessment, as we know about the what feasibility study, yeah, feasibility study about data science implementation in specific industry. Yeah. So the other challenge is about data privacy. As we know that data science can use data source from social media and the other open source data. Yeah. The big problem is about data privacy. Data privacy, as we know in social media, is uh, very open. Yeah, that we can make some constraint data privacy operation. Yeah, data privacy management connected by social media corporates. Yeah. So in data science in corporate, yeah, as we know that there are some open system we will that government will conduct. Yeah, I will give you the example is about the data open banking. Yeah. In open banking, it is very possible that data interchange between banking and fintech and e-commerce. It will happen that data will interchange very easily. Yeah. So about data privacy is very constraint that will uh, will raise some risk, yeah, risk, reputational risk, so operational risk, privacy risk, privacy customer, and the others. So I think this is the challenge of data science that we will conduct in business. So the other challenge is about cyber security issues. Like artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchain, and data science, the big issue is about cyber security. Because we will use data source from external beside the internal data. So cyber security is become high concern, for the owner of corporate, the owner of data. So this is the big problem. So it will be challenged with cybersecurity practitioner. So the other challenge is about the lack of standardization. As we know that standardization in data science is follows to the other standards. As Mr. Dan explains, that data science is combination about the discipline, some knowledge, like mathematics, statistics, data mining, artificial intelligence, and the others. But how to combine some discipline more standardized, so data science will use more effectively, more efficient, and user friendly. This is the challenge about data science implementation. So I think this is the challenge of data science. So what is the business use case for data science? As we know, the data science is we can use it for uh, some roles in several in industry. So in banking and finance, in mining and telecommunication, and the others. What area that data science will has a significant role in that industry? Maybe in sales and marketing, customer service, in HR. As we know that digital corporate must adaptable agility, must has agility to adaptable with customer demand, with customer expectation, stakeholder expectation. So in information system application, this is not just data operation, information providing, but the system must provide some analytical, that analytical will act in decision making process. So in sales, marketing, customer service, HR, so in this area need some analytical, yes, that data science can give some analytical that this department see uh, CEO, COO, and the others, can use data science output to decision making process. So this is example in finance and economics. So in transportation and logistic. As we know that last week we discussed about IoT. That IoT we can use in some area, for example, in transportation and logistic for tracing. So the result from IoT tracing, so will make big data, because the data combined from external and internal. I think data will uh, make some significant role how to uh, how to build analytical, that analytical will useful for decision maker, in transportation or logistic. So in manufacturing industry, we know that there are some data from internal sourcing, inventory, transportation, and point of sales. So from the source data, we'll make data warehouse or big data, and with external data. So data science will significant role how to make analytical more powerful. So decision maker can make decision making more effectively. So in pandemic, as we know, in pandemic era, as we know here, as we know, that healthcare issues, about COVID-19, so virus COVID-19 and vaccine. As we know that end-to-end ecosystem in healthcare, especially in COVID-19 pandemic, as we know that there are some data in each region or country or in the world that arranged by uh, World Health Organization, there are some issues in COVID-19, as we know that Ministry of Health in Indonesia, yesterday announced that about the clear data from Ministry of Health, there are some problems. So the ministry used data from KPU, Komisi Pemilihan Umum, General Election Board, that data from KPU is more uh, clean, is more useful to distribute about the vaccine COVID-19. So I think about data science implementation in healthcare, this is very, very important. How to conduct the vaccine research is more accurate, in Indonesia. This is the problem that but the who who is the receiver of vaccine in first step. So if government just concern in the amount or the ratio of vaccine receiver, but not concern in accurate, this is the problem. So with data science, will give significant role how to give data or analytical more accurate with combined data, maybe from the Ministry of Health, from PPU, and from the other source. So I think this is explanation for this webinar, Ms. Elsa. So we can conduct uh, question. Maybe the audience has some question to Mr. Ben or me. Thank you very much, Ms. Elsa.
Thank you for explaining more about data science. So now we know that mining data is not enough. We all need to make sure that the data quality is good, and there's also some issues that data science could occur, like cost issues. And the second problem is the data privacy. So we have to make sure that we're not violate that data privacy. But besides that, data science also could help increase sales, customer service, and even helping with HR department. So we will start our question and answer session, Q&A session. If anyone has questions, maybe could raise their hands so the operator could unmute you. Jika ada pertanyaan bisa langsung dikirim ke kolom chat.
By Indonesian, by bahasa is okay ya?
Iya, boleh. Boleh bahasa apa aja.
Ya, ngerti juga.
Pak Dwayne bisa bahasa ya?
Ya.
Di Singapura banyak orang Melayu, orang Indonesia, so Mr. Glenn.
Ya, banyak.
And Melayu, ya.
Ya, a lot. Correct. Dulu saya tinggal di Medan, ya. So bisa bicara dikit bahasa Indonesia.
Oke.
Hai.
Oke.
Oke, Mr. Dani, silakan.
There is a question from YouTube. I will read the question.
Okay.
This question from Ridwan Herdiansyah. I would like to ask how to improve execution speed when we proceed the data in data warehouse and it has a lot of record? That's the question.
Okay, so Pak Abdul Rahman, you want to start first or?
Okay, please, Mr. Dwayne. Okay, go first, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a few things that you will need to do if you want to improve the speed. First of all is, of course, ensure that your laptop is powerful enough. Second, of course, the servers and the technology is sufficiently powered. Yeah. Okay. The next thing you need to do is, of course, to ensure that your data is a clean one, which means to say there are no all the data pre-processing and all will have to be uh, done. Yeah, so to ensure that the data is a clean one without any much anomalies. So once all this is done, generally it will help to improve the speed. And last but not least, of course, the way you write your program and the way you structure your program and all will also be impacting the speed of the processing. Because if you understand how a computer or PC generally read data, it's generally from top down. Okay, so when it's reading from top down, which means to say you will have to actually ensure that your codes are as little lines as possible, but still can achieve the same functions and features. Okay, this is the technical part. But all in all, in the for the organizational part, it is important to have certain level of governance as well. That means certain policies on what kind of data is collected, what kind of data can be processed, and what kind of data is really needed by the organization. That will actually help to improve the speed and quality of the data being processed in the organization. Yeah. Okay. I hope it answers the question. Okay. Yeah. Back to you, Aurora, Elsa. Yeah.
We also have another question. Talking about data, there are data in form of numbers or text. Some are formatted, some are not. Some are related to our business and some are not. How to manage and process it?
Okay, yeah, this is an interesting question. In fact, this is a normal question that most organizations are facing. Okay, so when we are coming together first to build a data warehouse, naturally, HR department will have some kind of data, operations will have some kind of data, marketing will also have some kind of data. That is where your knowledge in data comes in. First, you will need to establish certain level of relations. Okay, once you identify the different types of data that can be forming a certain relation, you will be able to actually ensure that the data being processed and put into the system is what your organization needs. Okay, okay. So this is the first step. The next thing you need to do is, of course, once you establish certain level of relation, you have to identify what are the text and numbers and all. Okay, so if you are processing for artificial intelligence, machine learning, or general algorithms using statistical models, generally you will need to uh, ensure that all the text data is being converted into numbers first, yeah, before you can actually run all these algorithms. If all these algorithms are not being converted, if all this data is not being converted into numbers, you will realize that the algorithms will not be able to run. Yeah, will not be able to run. So that is where you will see that there will be some problems and slowness. So the data cleaning and pre-processing is important. Okay, yeah. So this hope that it answers.
Okay, thank you so much. And we also have another question. Data science certification is very new. Globally, what is the international certification that agreed among the academic and practitioner worldwide?
If you're interested. Okay, good. Thanks for the question, Danny. Okay, so allow me to share. Data science is new, and the emerging technology as well is relatively new. Okay, so that said, it doesn't mean that the first one must take note is that in the areas of digital transformation and technology, there is no standardization. There's no standardization. That means the way you process an algorithm, the way you run the reports, the way you churn out the artificial intelligence, there's no standard ways of practice. So different practitioners will practice differently. But that's it. Kasugo is an international certification provider with presence in 38 different countries. As of today, we have certified close to 5,200 professionals internationally, and most of our customers are participants are generally from government agencies, multinational institutes, and all. So that actually gives a relatively healthy standing in terms of recognition and establish some standard sets of practices, not only in Singapore, but regionally as well. So there are certain ways we actually work data science, but we do also have a standard framework that is actually in place to guide our companies and customers to achieve data science competency. That's some of the things that we actually do. Yeah. Okay, so hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Oke.
Okay. Yeah.
Pak Dani, di YouTube ada pertanyaan lagi?
Belum.
Oh, belum.
Di chatroom ada itu. Ya.
Ya.
Oke, mungkin saya tambahkan ya, Mbak.
Ya.
Ya.
Iya, boleh Pak.
Oke, jadi terkait dengan pertanyaan Pak Igede Made terkait dengan source ya, mengenai sumber data yang bervariasi. As we know that data science will mix up analytical from data source. That means that data source is there are some formats ya, data structured and data structured data and unstructured data. So the big problem is about the unstructured data. You know that in data preparation, yeah, the big work is how to make data preprocessing in unstructured data. So, yeah. Okay, this is about the data collection and about the data preparation. Yeah. So, data source from several sources. Yeah, like online survey. Yeah, open data from social media, media, unstructured data. So from image and the others. Yeah. There are some tools to convert unstructured data to be structured data or data that we'll use in algorithm in data science. So the research in data preparation and tool, this is still open for researcher how to make data preparation more powerful, more efficient. Yeah? So the day by day, if you want to make some research in how to convert unstructured data more efficient, more effective, more accurate to next step in data science. So this is very, very interesting research. Yeah. So I think like that. So the second about the global standardization or certification in data science from Pak Benny. Saya kira ini sangat menarik Pak Benny ya, mengenai kompetensi, skill, knowledge mengenai emerging technology ya, tentunya di data science. I will speak in bahasa ya, Mr. Dwayne ya.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah.
So, Alhamdulillah kita bekerja sama dengan Kasubol ya, di Bandung, untuk mengembangkan kompetensi di bidang data science dan artificial intelligence. Ini tantangan kita bersama bahwa dalam digital economy itu knowledge dan skill teman-teman informatika itu yang paling basic adalah bagaimana memanfaatkan emerging technology, salah satunya AI dan data science ini supaya memiliki useful di bisnis Pak ya. Nanti saya contohkan Mr. Ben, I have signed MOA ya, Memorandum of Agreement ya.
Oh yes, correct.
Civic Bandung and Kasugal conduct memorandum of agreement about the data science, artificial intelligence education. Yeah. So
Okay.
in Civic Bandung, we will conduct about informatics engineering specialization in artificial intelligence and data science. Yeah. So Alhamdulillah today, yeah, we have signed about the cooperation. Yeah, Mr. Kasugal, Mr. Dwayne. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for welcoming us to Indonesia and look forward to collaborating with you in more details after this.
Ya, saya kira Pak Benny dan kawan-kawan ya, mengenai data science ini kan saya kira merupakan kompetensi skill global, ya. Nah, Indonesia dengan jumlah penduduk yang sangat besar, kemudian banyak sekali perguruan tinggi di bidang informatika ya. Saya kira sudah harus mulai open terbuka untuk mengembangkan baik itu riset maupun pendidikan, bagaimana menyiapkan para profesional di bidang IT itu lebih applicable Pak ya, baik itu riset maupun implementasi di bidang data science, artificial intelligence dan lain sebagainya. Karena di digital ekonomi ini itu banyak sekali bisnis ya, itu yang tidak bisa lepas dari artificial intelligence, data science, IoT dan lain-lain Pak. Nah, ini saya kira mengenai kurikulum Pak Beni ya, Pak Beni saya lihat dari Unibrau Pak ya. Pak Beni dari Unibrau ya, di sini banyak dari beberapa perguruan tinggi ya. Halo Pak Beni. Ya.
Ya Pak.
Yeah, the audience in this webinar there are from some universities, Mr. Ben. Yeah, Mr. Benny is from Brawijaya University, Malang City, East
Okay.
So I think about the curriculum in university, yeah, especially in informatics engineering or information system, yeah, we have to review about the usability, about the validity and industry needs, yeah, industry customer needs.
Okay.
Now we will conduct specialization in informatics engineering in AI and data science area. Yeah.
Okay.
Cooperate with Mr. Ben ya, from Kasugal Singapore ya. I think kita harus we must think globally ya, that digital economy in the world needs that expertise in emerging technology. Nanti kita bisa bekerja sama Pak Beni, bisa di Unibrau gitu Pak, untuk mempopulerkan implementasi daripada data science, AI, dan lain-lain Pak. Ya karena memang di era digital ekonomi kita tidak bisa lepas dari teknologi yang menyertainya Pak Beni. Ya. Saya kira nanti riset teman-teman dosen, mahasiswa itu lebih applicable untuk kebutuhan bisnis dan industri Pak Beni. Saya kira itu tantangan kita bersama Pak Beni.
Siap Pak.
Oke, Mbak Elsa, thank you.
Oke. Ada pertanyaan lagi berikutnya dari Ahmad Rizky Fauzi. Seberapa besar atau mungkin saya bantu translate, how big is the risk and the effect if there is data failure?
Oh, okay. So let me start this part first. Okay, so basically, one must understand before every new initiative or before you kickstart any digital transformation effort or start building a data warehouse, okay, one must always have a backup and of the past and the present practice. That is why when we are moving towards implementing any digital transformation or data strategy, your organization will have to be very clear what is the existing practice and what are the new ways of working. And progressively, you will implement and adopt this technology. So in any case, if there's any failure in terms of data or data that is unclean, like what the Ministry of Health in Indonesia actually just announced in the last few days, yeah, certainly there will be risk, right? Because you can see people are actually dying because of the lack of medicine. So there will be risk because of the failure of data you are actually reading into causing these difficulties. And that said, we must have multiple sources of data to ensure that there's a certain level of governance quality that is in place and it is actually being clean. Not just depending on just one side of data. We must have multiple sources of data to ensure that decisions we make are the accurate one. So when you're actually doing data science and all, there's something called the true positive and the true negative. Okay, we must ensure that the true positive and the true negative is being measured and understood before deploying and on a step-by-step basis, not just change the system immediately. This is very risky. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. So at the end of the day, it's still the strategy and the structure and the ways of approach. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is something.
Pak Abdurrahman mau menambahkan?
Oke, saya kira cukup Mbak Elsa.
Oke. Pertanyaan berikutnya dari Johnson S. What is the difference between data science and data warehouse, and which is better to implement it for digital business?
Okay, I think we should actually start a class immediately. Start to run all these classes because I think thanks for the question, Johnson. Basically, data science is a subject. Yeah, okay, a topic. Okay, so a subject matter. So data warehouse is one of the many elements that is actually within the subject matter called data science. Okay, under the umbrella of data science. Okay, so within the data science, umbrella, there's also something called data analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence and all. So data warehouse is just one of the way. But when you're talking about implementation for digital businesses and all, naturally, one organization should actually start building a data warehouse first or data lake first. The reason because currently data is in many locations. Yeah. So in order for you to understand what is the HR doing and how is it impacting the sales department, all this data will have to come together. So that is where the data warehouse is formed. And in order for you to do that, you will need to have some skills in data science. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Dwayne. And another question from Bapak Beni Hutahayan. Ini untuk Pak Abdurrahman nih, kita belum punya fakultas Data Science atau program sekelas S2 Master Data Science. Sementara di luar negeri sudah banyak. Bagaimana menurut Bapak, apakah Indonesia perlu buat program seperti ini?
Ya, jadi kalau terima kasih Pak Beni ya, seperti yang saya sampaikan tadi, kita memiliki beberapa fakultas atau program studi di bidang informatika. Ada teknik informatika, sistem informasi, dan sebagainya. Nah, sebenarnya kalau data science dan lain-lainnya, Pak, bisa juga kita membuat spesialisasi di bawah teknik informatika, Pak Beni. Atau kalau mau dibuat program studi tersendiri, ya, yang fokus di data science, di artificial intelligence, lebih fokus mahasiswa dan akademisi, sangat memungkinkan itu, Pak Beni, ya, itu karena memang data science, AI, itu memiliki multidisiplin keilmuan yang mengiringinya butuh fokus tersendiri. Nah, kalau sekarang misalkan kita masukkan dalam opsi spesialisasi di teknik informatika misalkan ya, sedangkan hanya porsinya katakanlah hanya 10 sampai dengan 20 AS ya, jadi output atau outcome dari student teknik informatika mungkin belum begitu mumpuni gitu. Jadi mungkin dalam waktu dekat ini cara yang tercepat adalah menjadi spesialisasi di program studi yang existing ya, atau nanti sekaligus kita buat usulan jika kita kembangkan tersendiri terpisah dari program studi yang lain gitu Pak Beni.
Siap, terima kasih Pak.
Ya, saya.
Okay. Another question from Lucas Tommy. Greetings, sir. Is it possible to implement something like hoax detector for article, website, or social media accounts soon? And what parameters that can be used to classify that article, website, or account as a hoax or not? This is a really interesting question.
Okay. Yeah. Good question. Is relatively a new topic, right? In fact, it's a buzz in media nowadays regards social media hoax and all. Okay, so let me just take, if you don't mind, Ms. Abdul Rahman. Okay, so when you are looking for something like a hoax detection, there's no way a human will be able to process this set of data. Okay, that is where artificial intelligence actually comes in. Under artificial intelligence, there are many channels. Many different smaller subjects. Okay, one of the subject is actually called natural language processing. That is where you will be using algorithms, okay, some statistical models to run through your social media by identifying certain patterns, and from that, the algorithms will be able to read what is a hoax, what is a false news, and what is all the different political comments that you want to filter out. Yeah, so in fact, that is what is happening in the government agencies. Yeah, they are actually running all this natural language processing. That is why some social media posts you can see in Singapore but cannot see in Indonesia. Likewise, yeah, okay. So all these are actually filtering out all the different channels and all. So that is social media filtration and all. Okay, so you may want to, and in order to do that, you need to acquire some competencies in AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, so that is part of data science as well. Okay, I hope it answers your question.
Okay. Is there any questions? Another questions? Because that was our last questions from the chat section. Okay. And Pak Dani sudah share link untuk kuesionernya di kolom chat. Dimohon untuk mengisi kuesionernya.
Ya, itu link untuk presensi dan e-certificate. Jadi nanti akan dikirim via email setelah mengisi link tersebut.
Baik, sebagai informasi Mbak Elsa mungkin saya sampaikan ya, Mbak Elsa ya.
Iya, boleh.
Manajer ya. Jadi teman-teman sekalian sebagai informasi bahwa kami dari Stirik Bandung ya, insya Allah dalam waktu dekat akan menyelenggarakan program teknik informatika ya, itu spesialisasi di data science, kemudian di artificial intelligence for digital business ya. Kemudian di Software Academy itu nanti akan menyelenggarakan beberapa kursus ya, bekerja sama dengan Casugal ya, from Mr. Dwayne Ong, untuk beberapa aplikasi ya, aplikasi untuk membangun data science dan artificial intelligence, digital business dan lain sebagainya, itu program sertifikasi internasional ya. Jadi nanti kami akan memberikan informasi lebih lanjut mengenai program-program digital business, kemudian data science, artificial intelligence ya, supaya kita bisa mengembangkan suatu produk ya, mentransformasikan dari ide gagasan jadi produk data science, artificial intelligence untuk mengembangkan digital business di Indonesia ya. Nah, ini kita akan fokus di situ bekerja sama dengan Casual Singapura ya. Alhamdulillah hari ini kita sudah menandatangani memorandum of agreement ya, kerjasama dengan Mr. Dwayne Ong ya. Nanti kita akan desain program-program di Bandung dan di Indonesia, Mbak Elsa ya.
Yeah.
Mr. Dwayne, as we know that participant in Indonesia, maybe there are some challenge in bahasa, Mr. Dwayne ya.
Yes.
So maybe we will conduct the some course in Indonesian, but maybe in English. The important is how to transfer the knowledge in data science, artificial intelligence, so more effective for participant in Indonesia, Mr. Dwayne.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Abdurrahman, for bringing up. Yes, correct. The English is a problem for Indonesia. This is a real place. Nothing to hide. Yeah, so what we do is let us work closely together with both organizations and see how we can structure our syllabus and content to develop based on the Indonesia context. So that even case studies and all, we can use Indonesia case studies. Yeah, so people who are attending the course can know that after attending this class, they will know how to apply to their own small business or even different institutes or day-to-day job. Yeah, based on the Indonesia case study, not the international one. Sometimes it makes no sense. It's difficult to understand, but based on Indonesia context or even ASEAN context, so it makes sense. Yeah. Okay,
thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity to work with you and look forward for a long time and successful relation partnership. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dwayne.
Okay. Okay. We also get another question from Dewi Rosmala. What sort of certification offer and how much does it cost, and what the benefits for the students?
Okay, that I will hand it over to Mr. Abdurrahman. I think over the course of we just signed a partnership, so naturally it takes time to put everything together. So, but generally our digital transformation, our certifications and all are on the digital transformation and emerging technology. So, teaching on the latest and up and coming skills and best practices the industry is currently offering. Yeah, so you'll be learning about the latest in artificial intelligence, machine learning. So once that is done, you will be able to apply back to your workplace. And students, this is important because after graduation, things are moving so fast. You do not want to learn something that is based on the academic syllabus for the past 4 years, but not able to apply back to your workplace when things are really advancing. So Kasugo courses actually forms a bridge. But details on offerings, costs, and classes, dates, and schedule, do check with the Soulmate Academy or STMIK Bandung. They will be able to advise you as they are actually a locally based representative for Kasugo certifications. Yeah.
Oke, thank you, Mr. Dwayne. Baik, Ibu Dewi, insya Allah dalam waktu dekat, Bu ya, mungkin minggu ini atau minggu depan kita akan publish program sertifikasi internasional untuk science maupun artificial intelligence ya. Kita baru hari ini bangun kerjasama, nanti program-programnya nanti kita akan sampaikan dalam waktu dekat, Bu Dewi. Ya. Pak Lois, hadir Pak Lois? Mungkin Pak Lois ada pertanyaan? Halo, Mr. Lois?
Mungkin tolong dibukakan mute-nya.
Silakan di-unmute, Lois. Mr. Lois Frederick is my partner in STEMIC Bandung, Mr. Dwayne. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe Mr. Lois, there are speech. We will explain about the corporation. Mr. Lois. Oh, yes, okay,
ya, halo Pak Abdurrahman.
Oh ya, Pak Lois. Gimana, ada pertanyaan?
Ya, tidak pertanyaan.
Oke.
Tapi mendukung saja. Jadi bagus sekali ini untuk ke depan kita bekerja sama dengan institusi internasional. Ini kan seperti yang dianjurkan oleh Menteri itu. Jadi ke depan memang Pak Abdurrahman harus kita intent melakukan kerjasama internasional. Jadi ini awal yang baik untuk memulai kerjasama internasional dengan tidak hanya MOU saja, tapi ada kegiatan-kegiatan yang bisa dilaksanakan. Itu saja Pak Abdurrahman. Selamat, ini sukses untuk STEMIC Bandung.
Oke, terima kasih Luis. Jadi kita akan spesialisasi di bidang data science, teknik informatika, ya. Kemudian sistem informasi nanti kita buat spesialisasi digital transformation management, ya. Sehingga ini menjawab tantangan kebutuhan di digital ekonomi, ya. Bagaimana STEMIC Bandung bisa memberikan kontribusi yang cukup besar dalam mengembangkan SDM supaya bisa agile di dunia digital ekonomi ini, ya. Mr. Dwayne, so we have another university in Bali, ya, STEMIC Bandung Bali, and in Tanjung Pinang.
Okay.
Riau, so maybe we can conduct some course in Bali or Riau.
Yeah,
sure. So I think about upgrading, upscaling competency and in emerging technology today is very, very important. How to upgrade the digital economy business global. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's see how we can work together.
So, how we can student, we can do a student in Asia, especially in ASEAN, yeah, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, yeah, we can upscale the human resources in digital economy competencies, knowledge, and skill. Yeah. So ASEAN citizen can produce some product, yeah, with standardization with global standardization. Yeah. So this is our homework, Mr. Dwayne. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. We will look into that later. Yeah. Sure. Thanks, Mr. Abdurrahman, for sharing. Yeah.
Mbak Elsa, nanti kalau dari university ada yang bekerja sama atau apa, kita banyak diskusi di digital.
Oh iya, boleh.
Oke, ya.
Boleh. Kebetulan umum sekali buat universitas di Taiwan ini untuk buka MOU sama perguruan tinggi di Indonesia. Untuk kedepannya juga insya Allah STEMIC dan STI akan mulai student exchange ke Taiwan.
Oke.
Di salah satu perguruan negeri di sini juga.
Oke, ini selama COVID-19 mungkin exchange-nya by online ya?
Iya. Atau ada juga disediakan full beasiswa untuk S2 dan S3 di sini.
Oke.
Iya, free tuition fee, juga dapat uang saku bulanan, serta dormnya juga sudah disediakan dari sini.
Oke.
Iya.
So maybe we can conduct intensive program ya, misalnya student in Indonesia, we can follow internship in Singapore ya.
Okay. Yeah, can. In fact, we also have some strategic partners. So students in Indonesia, because now everybody is remote working. Yeah, so we are working on some digital transformation project as well. So software programmers, data scientists, and all. Yeah, these are some of the internship roles that you may want to explore. Yeah, in future. Yeah, yeah, certainly there's opportunities available for everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think this is the end of our webinar session for today. Thank you for participating and giving interesting questions. Saya serahkan kembali kepada Pak Dani.
Okay, thank you, Elsa, and also our guest speakers, Dwayne Ong and Mr. Abdul Rahman. Thank you so much for today's webinar, and we will meet again in the next international webinar next Tuesday. Okay, stay safe, stay healthy, and be happy. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Brand.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we keep in touch offline later. Yeah, thanks.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Udah?